Absolutely. Now, let's say the scenario is I am trying to refinance my property out so that I can pull out that equity in order to use that towards my next home purchase. What type of timelines should I look at for that? Let's say I have a deal that needs to close really quickly. What are some of the solutions that we can come up for that? And how long does that refinance process actually take typically?
That's a great question. So refinances are taking 4 to 6 weeks at the moment. At minimum 4 weeks, maybe even more than 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the lender and the location and the type of property you have. So when you're looking at the most time intensive part of this process is the appraisal. And currently right now, appraisers are inundated with business. It's taking 2, 3, or 4 weeks to get an appraisal done at the moment. Depending on your location, it might take a little bit longer, it might take a little bit shorter, really depends on where you live. But we can't, and the lender can't necessarily submit to credit, meaning do a final submission until everything is complete when it comes to the appraisal on the commercial side. When it comes to the residential side, you can still have a commitment, but the final approval and having everything completed isn't going to be finally done until you actually have an appraisal and you verify the value of the property. So, I mean, if you are looking to restructure some debt for another purchase or for some renovation costs to do another project, I recommend at least budgeting 6 weeks. I think that's a fair estimate, as long as there is no speed bumps down the road.
Yeah, and one thing too with the timeline for appraisals right now, and a lot of these purchases, especially the off-market stuff, like a lot of our purchases, they're looking to close within 20 to 30 days. With that type of timeline, anything that you have on the property that you can provide us, especially if it's off market, definitely do. If you have pictures, videos of the walkthrough and whatnot, if you know of any issues, just let us know. The last thing you want is your appraisal to be finished and sent in, 3 days before you're supposed to fund, and something pops up and the lender, changes their mind. And I've had that happen. Sometimes it's debatable whether or not it should be an issue, but if the lender sees it and they deem it as an issue and it's an issue, then they have the right to cancel the file even 2-3 days the day before closing. So again, just be open if there's problems, if there's things that need substantial renovations, if it's going to be visual, if there's knob and tube, stuff like that, like just let us know. We can mitigate issues down the road by just disclosing that ahead of time. If there's going to be a holdback on closing because of something like that, we can at least let you know and tell you to be prepared. You're going to have some additional funds set aside. So again, I mean, the solution to all problems with mortgages is just disclose as much as possible and be as open as possible, and we can try to mitigate that stuff ahead of time.